Hi, everyone. This is Jeff Clark of the Paydirt Prospector. I'm here in beautiful Vancouver for the Metals Investor Forum, and I'm here with the Dryden Gold president, Maura Kolb. Maura, thanks for joining me on this video. Thanks for coming to Metals Investor Forum.
Nice to be here, Jeff. Always great to see you.
Yeah, great. So what we're going to do is full disclosure, I do own the stock. I'm overweight the stock. I'm pretty excited about it. See what you think by the end of the video here. But Maura, we'll start with your background, which I think is key because you worked at the Red Lake mine. But tell us about your background and some of the success you've had as a geologist.
Okay. So I worked in the Red Lake mine, in the Red Lake region for 8 years. I was exploration manager for Gold Corp mine for 5 years. During that time, I had the challenge to find very high grade gold. That was our objective with the higher costs, and to bring the cost of exploration down. So we had a discovery cost of $200 an ounce, which is terrible. We brought it down to 50, and we did that through looking really at the science behind it. How do you figure out where high grade is, where it lives, why it's there, and then applying that to your drill program. So that's the kind of approach that I have with Dryden Gold.
And that sort of gives you a hint about what you might have at Dryden, right?
Absolutely. In fact, that's actually why when Trey Wasser, the CEO, called me, he had put the land package together, but they really hadn't done any geology work yet. Just sort of knew they had a good property. And when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, the geometries are so similar between the folds and the faults to Red Lake. I thought, wow, there's a huge opportunity here. There's a 53,000 gram per ton hit.
I love hearing about that.
over a little over half a meter. And you just don't get that kind of high grade unless there's some serious gold mineralization around. So I thought this is the kind of challenge that I'm really up for and really enjoy.
That's great. Now, a previous company owned this land package. You're a fairly young company, Dryden. They owned it. So the question was that a one-off? And they couldn't seem to really, will be nice, put it together and move it forward appropriately. So tell us about what you guys are doing differently and how that's looking like a Red Lake similarity.
Well, I think it's really important that you actually do all the scientific homework first. And a lot of times, if you get success, like 53,000 grams per ton, you're pressured. You're pressured by the market to drill it. And if you don't do the homework, you're going to have a really hard time replicating that. So the previous operators, they drilled a lot of holes around that, but they hadn't done the structural interpretation to know where to go next. And to know why they'd hit that. So one of the first things we did on the project was say, okay, what's the thesis? Why would there be such high grade here? And then start to see if our ideas were right. So we did oriented core, which gives you the opportunity to see the true orientations of the folds and the faults. Once we had that, we had a pretty good idea that the intersection between the different structures was the lineation or the plunge, what it's doing. So that gave us a good driver for targeting, and we were able to use that to then find other high grade zones and really just kind of keep growing the theory from there.
And you've already hit some very high grade. You just reported last week, or was it this week?
This week. Wednesday. This week. Yeah. So we had 130 grams per ton over 0.6 of a meter in this beautiful core with very coarse gold. What's really interesting too is the first place that we saw the folding within a vein, and we regionally have these folds. So it's playing into our thesis that the intersection lineation is important, but also the fold hinge orientation is important. They all match the plunges that we've seen so far. So it's like, okay, things are coming together, stars are aligning.
It sure sounds like it. Yeah, that drill core is here. You could see it with visible gold. Another reason you got to attend MIF in person, right?
Yes, exactly.
Maura, tell us about the plan this year for 2025. I know you're already drilling, but take us through 2025 with the idea in mind that some of this could be catalyst for the stock.
It absolutely is. So we were able to get a strategic investment from Centerra in December of last year that gives us a $5.8 million exploration budget. Now, half of that is going to go into drilling this area that we had the new results from, because we feel there is a big opportunity there for something significant. So we want to continue to grow that, drill it off, show that we can continue to find high-grade gold mineralization, and we might have something mineable there.
And this is the main project.
Gold Rock. Yeah,
Gold Rock,
the
right.
main project, Gold Rock. Now, the other half of the budget, we're going to focus on regional exploration because we have 70,000 hectares. We have this huge land package. But the land package is not just, whatever ground we could get. It's very, very strategic. It's focused on the main gold-bearing structure that runs from the northeast to the southwest corner of our map. And we want to be able to explore that. So we have about half the budget set aside, a third for drilling and mapping the kind of 2 highest priority targets we have. But then we've got about 14% for like true grassroots exploration. We're going to do till and soil sampling. We've done LiDAR, so that'll really give us a good base. We have some great tools at our disposal. We have a great geophysical survey across the entire property. And then we've got the structural interpretation we've been working on through mapping and our drilling. But we don't have a lot of geochemistry. So that is going to help us to see, are there any other giants potentially lurking on the property?
Yeah, this could be potentially, we have to use the word potentially, but a new Red Lake, not just project, but district.
That's the idea. And that's really what we've found when we speak with the mid-tier and major companies that are kind of watching and interested, and Centerra, our strategic investor, that's what they want to see. Can we discover something else? Can this be a new gold camp? I mean, that's where it really starts to be a game changer. So I think there's 2 main catalysts for us. We're going to focus on growing Gold Rock, but we're also going to try to make a new discovery. And so it's a balancing act, and it's very systematic the way we're approaching that.
And I really love the team that's behind this. I love the girl power. I mean, that's right. That's right. Tell us real quick about your team, because a lot of them are women.
Well, I've been very lucky in my career to have great diverse teams, and I think it helps you to bounce ideas if you have someone that doesn't think the same as you. So our VP of Exploration, Anna Hicken, we've worked together before. She also was in Red Lake. She was my second in command there. We couldn't be kind of more different sometimes, and that's how we come across things and get different ideas. But we've got quite a girl power team. We have a senior geologist, that's another female. We actually are about 50-50, but it's nice and refreshing to see some ladies.
Yeah. It's usually 90-10 or 100.
It is, especially in the mining industry. So it's nice to see that kind of representation of males and females and driving the bus.
I love it. I love it. And so, sorry, how many meters are you planning to drill this year?
15,000. I don't think I said. So.
Yeah, okay, 15,000 across the whole project in the breakdown that you said.
Yeah, most of the drilling is going to be on Gold Rock.
Yeah.
We've got about 1,000 to 2,000 meters set aside for the Sheridan project to the south that we for sure are going to do there. But the rest is really going to be focused on Gold Rock. Our eastern project, Hinman, where we've had some good surface results, we're going to do more mapping, really make sure that that's drill ready before we go to test that.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. And the idea that you're drilling shallow so far, right? But all the big mines in the area are mining at very big depths, right? And you haven't even touched that yet, right?
No, we haven't. So, I mean, it's very cost effective to drill more shallow. You get better bang for your buck. What we want to do is kind of twofold. We want to test more of these different targets so we show we have enough of them to be a significant deposit. But then we focused on the Jubilee zone, which is one we were having great success with last year, the 30 grams over 5.9 meters, I think it is, but some significant stuff.
Yeah.
We want to take that to depth. We want to get that to about 500 meters to show, that's half a kilometer.
Yeah.
It probably goes, 1-2 kilometers deep, because you usually see that in these Archean lode gold systems that they, Red Lake goes to a kilometer and a half, Timmins too. So we want to show that we have that kind of potential.
That's great. A lot of potential. I really like it. Check it out. Dryden Gold. Oh, sorry. Maura, thank you. You got me all choked up here. Thank you for joining me here, and love the company. Thank you for watching, everyone, here at the Metals Investor Forum.